My name is Max Stein, and I love Nintendo.
My name is Raf, and I also love Nintendo.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Today, we're celebrating tomorrow and today because we have two very fantastic multiplayer games that we are going to be talking about later that Raf and I have been absolutely addicted to.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
But before that, I am very, very, very excited to get some very important video game news out to all of you. That's right. As of yesterday, Nintendo dropped one of the best video game press releases that I have ever seen in my entire life. It may be one of the best ones ever. And we have people on the scene live in Japan to give you the scoop of what's going on. That's right. Live from Nippon themselves, it is the Megabuck and Mr. Venacor. Gentlemen, say hello.
Oh, 私はビデオゲームが大好きです。
Hell yeah. Hitting us
That's
with the
right.
Japanese.
If you are watching this or listening to this in your car, I should say, pull out your freaking phones because right now you are getting a visual of Mr. Venacor and Buck at Buck. Can you explain again where you're at right now?
We are at the Bandai Namco Cross Store in Ikebukuro for the JoJo World 3 event.
JoJo World 3.
And something about a Nintendo Switchy, I don't know.
Yeah, what about that? I seem to recall watching that with you from the top floor of the Japanese arcade.
You guys were there when the press release dropped in the top of a multi-story arcade.
Yeah, dude, tell me about that.
There's like 7 arcades. There's like 7 arcades in Akiba. We were at the Hey, which was our favorite because it's open later. We were playing Dodonpachi 2 on an Egret 2 machine together.
Incredible.
And then we were like, oh hey, it's almost 10 p.m. local time. That means that the Switch 2 Direct's about to start.
So we found a quiet spot in the found a quiet spot at the top floor of the Hay and watched the entire thing minus the first 2 minutes.
From the home of Nintendo itself.
That is,
Holy
my God,
shit,
from
that's
the
awesome.
humble beginnings of the card company. So how has your guys' trip been? Any highlights you want to key us in on anything? What's been your favorite thing so far?
Jesus, where do we start? Well, we got to go to Shinjuku. We got to go to Kabukicho last night, which for those Yakuza fans, Kabukicho is the district that they modeled Kamurocho after.
Right.
And I have video up the wazoo. We were roaming the streets of Kamurocho.
Fun and nerdy stuff. Riots in the streets after the Switch 2 were... No, just kidding. And we'll have a full recap for you guys too. And our probably less nerdy best highlight was we went to Mount Takao. And we took a tram car to the top of the mountain. And when we got there, it started to snow like in Egypt.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
We hiked a good 40-45 minutes from where the tram drops you off. You still have to hike to the summit. So that was a trip. We got a workout. Amazing.
What season is it right now in Japan? Like
they say it's spring, but it's been cold. So
I was gonna ask. Yeah, it's probably pretty chilly over there.
Winter. It's still kind of
high of 61 today, and it's a little warmer today than it's been all week.
The last couple of days have been in like the 30s and 40s and raining. So
yeah,
that chills my Swamp Kid bones, guys. Jeez,
same.
We have a full recap for you guys. In fact, last night was another karaoke night, and I think Mac already saw it.
I would love to insert the clip of Buck's karaoke right here. Wasn't that amazing? Holy fucking shit. I'm so for real. Raf, I'll show
Yeah.
you this in a moment. I sent this clip to my friend Jared. That was Buck singing the Evangelion theme song in a bar
Sankoku no
filled with
teases.
Japanese men
Oh,
who were
shit, I can't
embracing him
wait.
with all of
We-
their hearts.
I
It is
can't
one of
wait
the
to see
coolest things
this.
I've ever seen in my
we
life.
were in Akiba, and we were like, we don't know. It's public karaoke, which is uncommon, and we're like, we don't know how nerdy they are. And then Fighting Dreamers comes on at their request, the Naruto theme song by Flora.
Oh my god.
And me and Kyle look at each other and we're like, oh. And then they did Guts.
The opener for Toriko, which funny enough, Buck heard that for the first time like 4 or 5 nights ago at karaoke, and then all of a sudden we're hearing them sing. I'm like, what? And I started singing along with them, and we became instant friends with like a dozen of these young Japanese guys.
So once that happened, I was like, oh, we can do this. It starts coming on. I start singing, and they're like, they did the Nihongo sugoi, Nihongo jozu desu, Nihongo jozu desu. But it doesn't matter because we all embraced it and started singing the whole thing. It was hilarious, and everybody was
great.
drunk as hell.
Damn it, Japan seems so cool.
So I know, I'm so fucking jealous. So last question before I let you guys go. Out of all of the things we saw out of the Nintendo Switch 2 press release, if I need to remind you, you've got the new Donkey Kong, you've got new Kirby's Air Ride, you've got a new
I know what mine
FromSoft
is.
game, you've got Elden Ring, you've got Hollow. What was the thing that struck you the hardest in the direct?
Bloodborne. I mean, not Bloodborne 2. For sure.
Thank you. I
No
literally
question.
had my hands on the on the coffee room table with like my full body weight leaned on it, going, "This is Bloodborne 2. This is Bloodborne 2." And then
Well,
it
of
was
course
another
it
thing,
is.
and I was just like, "Oh my god, oh my
It's
god,
like that
this
Austin
is the
Powers
craziest
scene.
shit."
Like, it is Godzilla. No, it is not Godzilla.
Right.
It is just like Godzilla.
But
it's
not really.
Yeah.
Buck, what about
Yeah.
yourself?
He's lying to you. It's actually the Yakuza 0 remastered, including online multiplayer.
Oh
It's
my
really just
god,
an excuse to beat up Kuze even more.
It's just like Family Guy where there's too many jokes for me to remember them all. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my god, I totally forgot that was in there. That's fucking
But
crazy.
in new games, Bonanza looks really cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to play a Donkey Kong that's not country style. I mean, no Mario game. They're gonna launch with a Donkey Kong.
They made Donkey Kong Odyssey instead, and I wept when I saw it. I literally
love the
stood up
name.
and
It
started
looks
crying.
Bonanza. I love
truly
the name.
amazing.
It's fun.
Looks
Yeah.
good.
Well, you guys,
What?
thank you
We'll
so
be back
much
soon.
for your time. Mr. Venacore is coming back soon. Hopefully, he'll be back with us before too long, and then Buck's coming back home right after that. But gentlemen, sayonara.
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 Thank you for your
Sayonara.
time.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the Bandai Namco JoJo presentation thing, whatever that is.
Jojo
Hell
World
yeah.
3.
Man.
Safe travels back.
Have fun, guys.
Catch you guys later. So yeah, we'll do that Switch episode maybe, but let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we
Right.
are going to crack into 2 fucking hot games that I don't know if I even said off the top of this. Did I say?
I don't think you did. You didn't mention it. No.
My
no.
bad. Hey, it's R.E.P.O and 33 Immortals. It's gonna be in the title of the episode anyhow. But
We've played a lot of these games.
we have been playing the shit out of these games, and we are going to talk about them and much more when we come right back. And we're back. We're back from our break, and it is time. For a hot steam. You know what? I think I might just end up dropping that thing and just, we're a video game podcast, gosh
Right.
dang it. And it's been long enough to where I can just say, we just talk about new games sometimes, and sometimes we talk about old games. Today, we're talking about 2 new games because
Fresh.
we have been playing the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do R.E.P.O first. All right. So R.E.P.O. R.E.P.O. It looks like an acronym with the period separating between it. Developed and published by Semiwork, released February 26, 2025. So very recently.
Mm-hmm.
This game has almost 75,000 reviews with an overwhelmingly positive overall score on Steam. It's under $50, and it is, I think, the best Lethal Company-like game that I've played.
it's a complete distillation and like a refinement of the genre. Like it's like they took everything from every single kind of game like this and just took all the best parts and threw them all together and made it fucking hilarious.
Because we did that episode on Lethal Company, and
Yeah,
where we
yeah.
sort of began, talking about Lethal Company likes and what makes them what they are.
Right.
And so it's like, so if I had to explain this game to someone, it's just like, it's a go into a scary place
Mhm.
and pull stuff out of it
To make
game.
money, to make a quota,
To make
every- yeah.
you're right, to
Yeah.
reach some sort of bar, or obviously go above some bar. These games also usually feature like buying items in between rounds of doing that.
Right, yeah. Or blowing your friends up in between rounds.
Every
Yeah.
single time you enter
Yeah.
the item shop, you cannot
Yeah.
resist yourself.
Yep.
But so the setting and like the characters of the game. So you play as a party of 1 to up to 6 people, which immediately is like, for me, a leg up.
Yeah.
Like, I know you can get mods for Lethal Company that'll let you
Right,
play
yeah.
6 players and whatnot, but having the 6 players built in,
Thank you.
that's right.
Thank
Is
you.
it
Right. Thank you. That's it. No, like easily just thank you so much, because like sometimes I want to play with more than 4 people. I got more than 4 friends, man. You know, they want to play, you know.
It feels like a cheat almost to say
Right.
it's a better game, because it's just like you more people in the game where it's about having fun with your friends. You can have more friends in there.
Absolutely. It's genius. Yeah.
I not to go on and on about that, but anyhow,
Yeah.
so you play in as a party of 1 to 6 of these cute little robot guys
Mhm.
that look like I don't know, they're like they have like pointy little arms and pointy little legs, and then they themselves look like one of those collapsible stools you'll find on Temu, where you can like
Yeah.
twist it and then it becomes flat.
They look like a drawing of a robot. I don't know, like if they,
Yeah,
it looks like a
that's
drawing of a robot, you know?
They have Kermit the Frog's sized proportionally, like huge
Yeah.
eyeballs, like
Right.
resting on the top of their head.
Adorable. I fucking
And
love
then
that.
their mouths flap like the Canadians in South Park. Like
Right.
it's just like totally ridiculous. And you pick a custom color. You're like a tiny little guy, and then the setting is like one of several different, like what how you say, like archetypes of like scary
Right.
movie shit.
True. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, they are all kind of based on some form of like scary movie, yeah, or
You've
movie
got
in general, yeah.
like a house, like a haunted house.
Right.
Then you've got like a Antarctic, like it's clearly The Thing.
Yeah,
like
right,
it's like
right,
an
right.
Antarctic science base or something.
And then fucking
then-
Hogwarts.
I totally forgot about that. You've
What's up
got
with that?
a wizard academy or something
Yeah.
like this, and then there's like a museum like level as well that's got like multiple stories and shit like that.
Right.
So yeah, you trek through these environments as these little robot guys, and inside of those environments are scary ass motherfuckers that are trying to kill you. That is the Lethal Company like formula. And the enemies in this character are the enemies in this game are fantastic. If
Really,
I do say so
honestly.
myself,
Yeah.
you've played more of these games
Yeah.
than me, I think.
I
And
played I played quite a few of these, yeah.
How would you say the enemies, at least the ones that we've been exposed to, stack up against the enemies of some of these other games?
I think that these are some of the best I've seen, honestly. Like they're interesting. And I mean, this game, like for being an early access game, is so well polished. A lot of times, like in Lethal Company, some of the monsters seemed a little janky sometimes, like with their behaviors. These, man, like the alien, the hell is up with that guy, man? The mentalist. Like I have this I hate gray aliens. When I see those grays, man, it makes me shit my pants. And that thing, like the first time I saw it, it really spooked me. My favorite though is the the guy with the shotgun, the blind guy with the shotgun. It's just so clever.
There's a huge range of different types of monsters because of the different themes of the levels.
Right.
So like in Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was sort of limited to being on theme with the whole like you
Medieval,
are medieval. So like magic and things like this. And then in Lethal Company, they do a pretty good job of like having it be like a kooky assortment of things. I guess they're quasi random.
You
what I
have
mean?
everything from the bracken, which is like a plant like monster, to like a literal nutcracker with a handgun. Like that's like one of the things that you run into in Lethal Company.
But in Repo,
Yeah.
like, Raph is talking about there's this old man with a shotgun
Yeah.
who spawns on the haunted house slash like spooky farm, I
And he's blind.
guess.
Yeah.
And he's completely blind, and he walks around his house with a shotgun as if it were a cane.
Yeah.
And if as long as you don't get in his path, he won't notice you. And also, you need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Which and then there's an alien in the like spooky science lab like level that like just like floats around with his legs crossed and will like toss you up in the air and like
Just in a
levitate you and
lotus
shit.
pose. He just floats around. He's so goddamn scary. I hate him so fucking much.
There's I don't know which is the better like which to mention first now, and segueing from that, which is the mechanic of how you hide or the in-game speech. I guess I'll do the in-game speech
Yeah.
first, because that's something that those other games also have. So like usually these games lean pretty heavily on their in-game chat and the proximity chat situation where it sounds like you're on the other side of the wall, or it sounds like you're in the next room
Yeah.
or something
Right.
like this. But this game takes it like a couple steps further in a couple different ways. One way is that there are like items that you can interact with that will change the pitch of your voice unbeknownst to you,
Yeah.
which is always funny. It's never not funny to have your friend walk into the room with this thing that is like essentially a face hugger from Alien. And what it does is it makes you vomit like this toxic vomit like every couple of minutes, just like randomly.
Yeah.
And it also changes your voice to be like 3 octaves lower.
So
And
Mac
if you
walk
don't,
into the room like, God damn it. And then just starts throwing up all over the place. Like,
and the funniest part
fuck.
is the person who is maybe just playing the game for the first time does not know that their voice is pitched down. And so everyone is laughing hysterically at their pitched down voice, and they're just going, what? What's so funny? No, it sucks. And they don't. And then everyone has to explain to them, your voice sounds crazy. Your voice sounds so crazy. There's another item in the game that is like it's like an hourglass.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And it's super big, and when you pick it up, it slows you down, and like it also makes your guys already bug eyes like get like even bigger, and his pupils become like massive, and your voice begins to slow down. And again, you as the person being affected by it do not realize that this is happening. And it's just like, bro, we played this game several times, and every time someone comes in with the sand dial, it's so funny. It's
my
so
favorite
fucking funny.
Is with the first time that you ran into the giant eyeball that like I don't know what it does. It like steals your soul, but like it fixates you on it, so you can't look away, and your voice slowly starts to pitch up, and you start like, oh my god, what's happening? And then you die. Like the first time that happened to you, I just like hear Mac like, what's going on? And then you were just dead.
There's a text to speech like thing in the game too. If you press T, and then you can type a message, and in case you, I guess, don't have a microphone or whatever. And there also is a love potion that you can find, and when you pick it up, it begins text to speaking, like saying stuff like inappropriate. It'll be like, I am in love with Jeff, like whatever your
the nearest
friend's
person
name is.
that's
by
like you.
I am truly infatuated with them. I want to kiss them and hug them, or whatever. It's just like there's a lot of things and enemies that do just awesome, funny, random shit. And the having the in-game chat work with like a lot of the villains, the enemies or whatever, is
they are
so funny. Is like just like, so I guess this leads me to like the hiding. So there's you can press Q at any time to have your robot man like fold up into like a little tuna can sized version of himself.
Yeah.
But once you have done so, you can't move, or you'll unfold. But what you can do is you can do like a running jump and then become a can in midair, and then you will land on the ground and like roll a little bit.
Yeah.
And this it's so fun. First of all, too, there will be like chairs in the level, and sometimes you need to hide from the villains, and so you just do like a fucking jump, dive, roll,
right
Q,
under a
turn into a
chair.
ball and roll under a chair, and then just like everyone, it'll be like you and all of your friends are collecting shit, and then someone will be in the
We're all
other room and
chatting.
yell like,
Yeah.
Slender Man, and then everyone just goes fuck, 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 and just like looks for something to hide in. Like,
What was that yelling that one time? I was just like in the next room, like Babadook, Babadook.
yeah, like it's one of those games where the enemies, like, there's no explanation for why they're in there. There's one that's just like this horrifying visage of a clown mixed with an alien that shoots a laser beam at it, and so you end up just like naming these things whatever the fuck you know what I mean.
Right,
so there's one that just like looks like a Babadook, and so I'm like, there's a fucking Babadook in that room, you guys, and they're like, what are you talking about?
And then I came around the corner, and sure enough, Babadook.
And you're like, oh, that is a Babadook.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, so now if you see one, you got to call out Babadook so that we all know to run and hide.
Right.
This dovetails with the physics of the game. So the way you pick items up in this game, which is quintessential to the Lethal Company like experience, picking stuff up and then putting it in your pocket, or maybe not in this instance.
Yeah.
The way you do that is not just like by clicking it and pressing E or whatever. You get close to an item, and then you click and hold left click, and your character like shoots like a very short range tractor beam, almost, as it will, where you can like control this object in free space. You can right click to rotate it around. Why would you need to do that? Well, because the way you collect loot in this game is not like 4 slots at a time like in Lethal Company. Instead, one of you is pushing like a fucking shopping cart around the level, and you have to like grip the shopping cart. Like you have to get to a specific, you have to get your reticle on a specific spot on the shopping cart when you grip it to get like a good grip, or else the shit inside of it shakes around and it moves slower. Which I love that. I don't know. What are your feelings on that mechanic?
I learned so there's a lot of hidden mechanics that come, like, especially with that thing. Did you know you can lift that thing up in the air?
No.
If you grab it from the side, you can actually lift it up in the air, and you can have a friend of yours in it, and you can lift them up, and then they can jump onto things. And actually, I learned that apparently you can get the second cart, and your friend can grab the cart from the side, and they grab the cart from their side, and you could fucking fly, basically. You guys could lift each other up into the air. Yeah, I love that. I love the cart thing in general, because like inevitably somebody's like, I want to get the cart. You know, like as soon as you come outside,
I love
like,
the cart. I love grabbing the cart.
Sometimes I like getting it. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I just want to run in there and start grabbing shit. But somebody always ends up grabbing the cart, and that's fantastic.
My favorite thing about the cart, if I may interject, is that the cart will tell you in real time how much money you have, which is great. Which I was just like, what a brilliant fix.
Quality of life, really, honestly, a quality of life feature, because it was really annoying in Lethal Company to kind of put stuff down and then have to scan it, and you have to figure out the right angle that you're scanning it from. This just tells you how much you have right there.
And the scanning in Lethal Company is how you find the treasure in a given room. In this game, when you walk into a room, if you see it, it basically points it out to you.
Well, you got a map in this game too, which
you
is a
also
big deal.
Have a straight up radar with a like as much of the map that you've explored on it. Any treasure that you have seen but have not collected, it will put a little yellow mark. Like the game is like, it wants you to play it and just have fun with your friends collecting the stuff. Different things weigh different. They have different mass. So like
that's one of my favorite features.
Me too. That would be like a TV, and it when you click on it, it'll say this is worth 16 grand or something. But when you go to pick it up, you're like, oh fuck, it's heavy. I can't pick it up on myself. So then it's just like you have to call your friends over, like, hey, come over here, and then you and your friends lift up a TV, and you're trying to get it into this shopping cart without breaking it, because if you touch any of like objects or your friends with things that you have in your hand, you'll damage them, and they will reduce the amount of money they're worth.
We all played one of the first times that we all played together, and we were all, most of us dead except for Mac and my buddy Danny, and we spent the next 20 to 30 minutes watching them try to move a fucking griffin statue down the stairs. And that was, I was legitimately crying from how hard I was laughing at this whole situation. My favorite part of it is that by the end of it, they dropped it a million times and it just fucking shattered.
It
As
was
soon as
so funny.
they got it through the door, it just hit something and
Took
just
so long.
shattered into a
We
million
literally
pieces.
ended up like throwing it down the stairs. It was like this huge statue of a griffin, and we're trying to be very carefully sliding it, and then we just like lost grip and like up, and we just at the top of the stairs like watched it fall all the way down, and then we with our giant like Kermit the Frog eyes like
Yeah.
just like look at each other and go like, well, it's down there, and then we just walk down there.
You mentioned the hiding and like the shape of the characters' faces and the eyes and all that stuff adds so much to the really every mechanic in this game like just results in comedy. Even the
Yes.
scares and stuff. And like when you're running to hide, like that time I was hiding behind the box, I see Mac dive in behind the box and he turns around and he sees me already hiding there and I'm like, hey.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments was I was dead, and you can flip between people when you're dead. And I'm watching our friend Danny, and then I'm watching Raf, and I'm flipping between their cameras, and they're both being really quiet because the shotgun guy is around, but they're trying to continue to collect things to put in the cart, and they're coming around the same hallway, but like from opposite sides, and they're about to turn into, and they both have something in their hands, and I just watch them like. And then they both like turn and smash their items into each other and just break them. And then they just look at each other like, fuck. They can't make any noise so they're just like.
There's so much.
So you're just watching their flabby mouth. Like, it's. I've said it several times.
The funniest game I've ever played. Yeah.
Yes,
like
I've said it several times when we played it. This
Yeah.
is the funniest game I think I have ever played as far as just like emergent gameplay stuff. Like there's no writing. It's the funny stuff is the funny stuff you do with your friends.
Yeah.
Like you can revive your friends by collecting their heads in between the collections, basically, because you might have multiple like antes to like, or not the multiple quotas within a level, and you can revive your friends if you bring their heads to the like the exchange, like where you get the money before you exit. And so they'll be on your map, and so there's fun times where you go like, I gotta go save Alex, and you're like, oh shit, fuck, where did he die? I don't know. And then like the thing will enter the room again, and then you just like, and you have to get really quiet with your friends. I wrote in my notes that this game reminds me, like we talked about in content warning, how that reminded us of like doing Jackass with your friends or something like that. And then like Lethal Company, I guess, kind of maybe feels like going into a abandoned warehouse or something. Like this game feels like sneaking out of your house to go smoke weed when you're in high school or something. Like it's like you're trying not to wake up your parents, so you're like, shush, man, quiet, man, shush, like.
You know, for me, honestly, all of these games, they try to go for the Scooby-Doo-ness, and like this is the most Scooby-Doo shit possible. Like I don't know, it's something about like everybody running around and like, oh my god, there's like all the panic, but like it's just funny too. You know, it like it has moments that are really scary. Like genuinely, I like have had moments where I'm like, oh my god, dude, like it like made me jump and got me fucking heart pumping and me just running. Like at the end of the day, you know, like some of the missions at the end, I just end up having to sprint to the exit. But it's just so funny all the time, you know, all the time.
It really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing really fucking well on Steam. So if you don't have it already, go get it, I guess, and fucking get it with your friends.
Yeah,
it's really fucking fun.
Don't worry about the weird, ugly looking emoji that's like the Steam like thumbnail, because I actually almost skipped this game because of that emoji. Like just looking at like the cover of this game, I'm like, this looks mad stupid. I'm sorry, like, but then you know you play it and you're like, holy shit, this is incredible. This is like,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, the ugly ass emoji almost made me just straight up bypass this game, but don't, because it's fucking excellent. It really is.
Any closing thoughts besides that on R.E.P.O?
I just love this game, man. I love it.
Yeah, it was really fucking good. We've been playing it on our on Raf streams on Sundays.
Yeah, right.
We've been playing this, so you can catch us for who knows how much longer we'll be playing it. If they keep updating it and putting monsters in it and new places and new like items to mess with, like I'll keep coming back to this game. It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So funny. All right. So the next game on the docket is 33 Immortals. We're going to take a quick break,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to talk about a really kick-ass multiplayer Hades.
Okay, guys.
Ooh, tiny.
Okay, we are back, and we are continuing our dive into the multiplayer heaven that it has been this week between the Switch announcements, R.E.P.O, and this game, 33 Immortals. So this game is developed and published by Thunder Lotus. It is right now in early access. It literally hit the Game Pass and Epic Game Store earlier in March.
Yeah.
So the 30,000 foot view of this game, as I said before, is it's a multiplayer Hades. I'm not joking.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Really, really is. So the settings and characters. So it takes place basically in the Dante's Inferno, the epic poem. What's the name of the trilogy?
The Divine Comedy.
The Divine Comedy. So you you're like a lost soul guy who looks kind of like the headless guy from Dead Cells, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't
little
even
bit.
notice that. Yeah.
It's a pretty wispy, pretty cool art style. It almost looks like cell shaded esque,
Like hand drawn
right?
almost. It's very comic booky. It's got a very
looks
comic
very
booky
cool.
kind of look.
You're this flaming skull head guy who is like working his way through what appears to be, like I said, Dante's version of hell, complete with like frozen over Satan as opposed to like fiery Satan. I haven't seen all the bosses, but you fight Adam and Eve is one of the bosses. It's really tight. So the objective of the game seems to be to like escape,
the afterlife. I suppose.
Yeah, the afterlife. I guess the first stage is like hell. The second stage was purgatory. I'm assuming there's a heaven stage, maybe, and who knows what else it would be. But anyhow, so the game, like the objective of the game and the way it is played is like you and 32 other players work as a team to like conquer this like very large map of enemies and then to beat a boss, I guess, is really the end result you're looking for.
You fight a bunch of mini bosses in dungeons, and then you fight a big boss at the end. Yeah.
So so let me get into like what your character. So you as this little skull guy can choose one of 5 archetypes to bring. Or is it 4 archetypes to bring to the battlefield? That is like 4 play styles, which obviously coincide with 4 different weapons. So there's a big long greatsword, there's a bow and arrow, there's twin daggers, and then there's a like magic staff.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite weapon, Raf?
The twin daggers.
We can talk about that one first.
Yeah, easily the twin daggers is my favorite. I like it fits my play style. With Hades, I kind of tended towards like this sort of like zippy in and out. It's sort of like I'll hit back and then I hit him with something else. I kind of like go back and forth like that. The other one I like is honestly the greatsword. I didn't quite get it until I played with you guys. I was like, holy shit, you can actually parry like any attack, you just charge it up. But yeah, I really enjoy the whole like parry block mechanic and then just swing away. That's how we beat that one boss. I was just swinging away, and every time you'd swing,
very good skill.
Block it, and that's it. It's good.
And then the bow and arrow is like a straight up long range DPS guy. He's got like a clip of 6 arrows that he can charge to make stronger and shoot farther. But outside of that, he shoots his 6, and then you press another button to make them all come back to you, and they attack enemies on the way back. That's really fucking cool. And then the wizard staff like shoots a light projectile, a medium distance, I would say. But every time you do it, you gain a little bit of this meter that's called like torpor or something like that. And then you use your other ability to do this like wide area of effect skill that does like more damage and slows your enemies down more depending on how large that bar was built up before you cast the spell.
That was your favorite one, right? The staff.
Yeah, the staff is my favorite one. I love the utility. Like when you're working as a team, like
Yeah.
I guess that leads me into how does the 33-man team thing work? So
Surprisingly well.
surprisingly well. So
Yeah.
you choose which weapons you're going to bring into your next run. All of these can be upgraded after you reach a certain level and stuff.
Mhm.
Very much so like Hades, which is very addicting and makes for that one more run style thing. There's quests you can go on for each weapon to get bonus points and shit like that. It's super tight. So you walk through these pearly gates, and then if you're entering, like, the first level, for example, is Purgatory. You and like maybe 6 people often, because whenever we enter a battle, it seems like a couple people spawn at the same time as you. There might already be some people in the map, but you spawn in the center of this very large map. Like, it's much bigger than it'd be like if you had like 12 Hades rooms, like in a 4x3 grid or something. Or I
Right,
guess it would be like
yeah.
16 Hades
With
rooms
no
in a 4x4
walls
with
really
no walls in
separating you,
between
yeah.
them. Right. And throughout that entire map is just like people, like fucking enemies walking around like Vampire Survivor, just like looking for you, walking around, waiting for you to walk by so they can fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's got like bullet hell style like levels of fucking like projectiles and attacks that are flying through. So everyone has a dodge button. So you're fucking just like Hades, like you're fucking zipping and zapping across all this big ass battlefield that has amongst the battlefield shit is like currency, like bones that you use in the dungeons, or like gems that you use in the in-between parts, like in-between runs, or health, or there's a bunch of different shit in all these gems. And then there's like these things that you go to when you've defeated enough enemies and collected enough of this like experience points to level up
yeah.
yourself, like in that run specifically. And so what you're doing is you're in the map and you're running around fucking shit up, and you're basically waiting for these dungeons that are scattered around the map to open up.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the time limit is. I never figured it out. But after a certain amount of time, like a like act of God happens, it's like the apocalypse happens. Like there's a couple different versions of it, but basically flaming meteors come down from the sky and rain down on your team of 33 that is scattered all across this map. And, after that is done, hopefully no one has been killed. There's like a team counter in the corner that you can look at to see like where the team is at. But after that is done, all the dungeons will open up. And the name of the game becomes Run to the Dungeon to participate in it. Because
find one that you can get to, yeah.
Right. Each dungeon only holds 6 people in it per spawn, basically. Why do you want to do the dungeons? Well, because when you complete the dungeons, you get like a treasure chest as a reward. You can even get up to 2 treasure chests per dungeon if you find a key out in the level, like while you're fucking around with your friends. The dungeons. So you find these treasure chests, and they'll have relics and shit inside, just like Hades or something, where it's just like increases your critical hit chance by blankety blanks, like, or increases your attack rate by this number. And they have rarities and etc. But so yeah, you why do those? Well, one, they're filled with enemies. The dungeons are fucking packed to the gills with like just like the regular mobs, and then they spawn these huge mobs that drop tons of experience.
Bullet hell, that's the bullet hell side of it, is when you get to like into these little dungeons, which really, we say dungeon, but these dungeons are really an arena. That's essentially what you're in. You're in an arena, and you've got environmental hazards, you've got monsters attacking you, and then you have these mini bosses that show up. It's hard, man. It's tough. This game's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
So you do those so you can get experience and get these like the relics. Why? Well, so that you can level up and get stronger, do it again until there's like a final opening of dungeons that happens or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after all of that is said and done, there are these ascension battles that happen in like 3 areas of the screen. It's like I think it's like in the sort of center row, if you will, but like in the thirds, like vertical slice wise.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like these, like they're literally focused around these like giant pentagrams, and it's just like hordes and hordes of demons will begin to like flood the map, and the name of the game there becomes go to one of those pentagrams, those ascension spots, like as a, you know what I mean, like immediately because
Yeah.
the round is about to end, to do these massive huge battles with basically everyone who is left. So it's just like after all of this dungeon crawling has been done, you know, you might get like I want to say like 3 runs at trying to get into a dungeon
Yeah.
before you have to do these
Yeah, 2 or
ascension
3, yeah.
battles.
Yeah. 2 or 3, yeah.
And so that's the amount of time you have to try to level your guy up, because after you kill, basically the pentagram's got like a little meter that you fill up by killing guys during these ascension battles. When you fill the meter all the way up, the guys clear around that pentagram, this light happens, like it's like gets summoned, and then you get one last chance to level up with any experience that you gained defeating that shit. And then you go to the boss battle with everyone else. So after you
Don't
do that,
forget also that when that happens, when you do the ascension battle, it essentially turns into a battle royale because the map starts to get smaller.
like a ring of fire like surrounds the pentagram and gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and so you and you know whoever is, you know, at the end of this, the ascension battle, there could be 20 people left,
Right.
and if there are 3 ascension spots, there could be 15
tight.
people at one, and then 10 at another, and then 5 at another, you know what I mean, just by coincidence. And so if you're at the one with the 5, you're like, fuck, our back is against the fucking wall. It's cool because when you ascend, the game doesn't move on until everyone has either died or cleared the map, so you can press L1 and R1 to look at the other ascension spots and like see how it's going, because you want as many people as you can to move on to the boss battle with you, because the boss battles are hard.
Oh yeah.
They for example, the first one is against like straight up Satan. And it is like you start with 33 and you're going to want to have at least like 25 people for this fight. Satan is massive. They when you get to him, it reveals to you that you can press a button to pan your camera out, and it pulls it super far back, and I'm talking like MMO RPG levels of pulled back. Like if you ever played Final Fantasy 14, it's like just like that, where there's like an area on the ground, like this entire half of the map is about to get hit with an attack, and so you all 30 of you have to immediately swing to the other side.
You see the mountain in front of you start crying, and then Lucifer shows up, and you're like, "Holy shit, he's the mountain!"
What are your thoughts on these boss battles?
These boss battles are cool as hell, man. I really dig actually the second boss battle, in my opinion. I thought was really cool. It was just very hard, but Adam and Eve showing up, and they're just all it felt more dynamic than the other one. I think we've beaten, like personally, I think I've beaten Lucifer twice. I did it once with Danny and once with you, like you and Danny. And man, that shit was tough, dude. Like I think the first time we beat it, we had to have a minimum of like 26 people in there, or else we just weren't able to handle it. Yeah, I mean, it's the boss battles look sick as hell. It looks cool. It's a little like, dude, there are some hits you just cannot block. You just have to tank them.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready, you're dead.
Danny, you reminded me just there. Danny was the one that said, this is like an MMORPG raid without any of the questing. You don't have to do any quests. It's just you'd have to memorize the way it works, because like Satan will spawn mobs, and it's like you got to kill all the mobs before you can attack him again. And so if everyone doesn't know, then it doesn't work. And if everyone doesn't play their role, it doesn't work. Like if the tanks aren't tanking and the DPSs aren't DPSing, like that doesn't work. I totally forgot to mention that everyone also has like a magic spell.
Oh, that's true.
That is unique to their class. And so it's one of the shoulder buttons usually, but like, for example, the wizard's like magic spell is like to create a large portion of the map like that becomes enshrouded with purple smoke that slows down enemies that are inside of it. The thief will make himself and somebody else faster, and the way you execute these is like it's on a timer, and when the timer, like the bar, fills all the way up, you press and hold the shoulder button, and your guy will like begin like making a magic sigil on the ground. and the number of magic sigils varies on the class. So like the wizard needs like 2 people to help him cast his spell, as does like the archer.
Yeah.
Whereas like the knight only needs like
2.
2, and then like the thief needs like 1 like other person like altogether or something like that. So what happens is he'll make these sigils on the ground, and then other people have to stand in the sigil and then press a shoulder button as well to activate their spell. And so you can party up with people in this game, by the way. I didn't mention that. You and your friends can be in like a party of 4
within the 33, yeah.
Within the 33, which unlocks other stuff where you can like revive your party members.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 2 lives in this game. Also, when you die, you become like a little floating spirit, and someone else can bring you back to life like within 30 seconds or something like that. And so you end up like doing this like without speaking, you're communicating with these random strangers where it's just like, man, we really need the archer spell right now. And then someone throws it down. You're like, I got you, bro. And then you and then someone else who is probably just in another part of the world, you have no fucking idea, is also like, I got you, bro. And you guys time it right, and you launch the spell at the right time, and it sends the barrage of holy arrows across the battlefield. It's fucking awesome.
Something about the simplicity of the UI and the way that the spells are cast and stuff like that makes it so easy to communicate without words.
Right, because they're very bright
right
thing comes on the ground, and then your guy will stand there and hold it. Yeah. And then like it's like you can like move around a little bit within the sigil to kind of be like, hello, I need help over here. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know about you, but when I see one of those sigils pop up, I don't care who it is, or if like if I'm near it, I jump in it. Yeah, so it's like shit. Like,
and
it encourages it.
It encourages it, and it's almost always beneficial. Yeah. And so it's just like every mechanic in this game does such a good job of making you want to cooperate instead of making it to where you have to. Like, you want to do good, and you will find that you're like, when you revive your teammates, when you help them cast their sigils, like, you know what I mean? Like, you will do better against those bosses at the end. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
Not to mention that if you have Game Pass, you can just fucking play that shit right now for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, 33 Immortals. I've been playing it just like any other roguelike, because then after all that shit we just said, you go back to your hometown and there's a lady that says, oh, you unlock some new clothes, and you go, oh, hell yeah. And then fucking literally who's the not Virgil, but is that the guy who's walking them around in
Virgil is the guide,
and he's
but
like,
I think Dante is in the game, right?
Is Dante the one that gives you the perks?
I don't remember. Damn.
Anyways,
I think it might be Virgil. Yeah.
There are perks that you get, just like other roguelike games, where it's just like, oh, I took the perk that lets me like revive my allies faster, or I took the perk where I just get extra damage innately. So it's just like infinite ways to do your builds. It's so fucking addictive. I love it.
Yeah,
I really love it.
And you know, the thing about it too is that, like, if you don't want to if you don't have friends to play with, it's really fun to play by yourself.
Yeah.
Because of how simple it is, because of how simple the UI is, because of how easy it is to just communicate without using words, without communicating. It's just so fucking fun to play, even on your own. It's great.
There are cute little emojis that you can shoot away.
Yeah, I love using the emojis.
There's these little thing. There's a little outside, because it extends to that point, outside of a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of every dungeon, there is a thing where you can spend bones to get either a key, which you can use in a treasure chest later, a like homing relic where you can just like warp to a random person in the level for free from your map. So you can open your map, and like if you're far away from a dungeon, but you see one that has 2 spots open and there's a person running to it, if you have one of those, you can just warp to that person that you don't even fucking know. And then you will join them and then finish the run to the dungeon, get to it, and then participate into the dungeon with them. And then the heals that you can pay for outside of the dungeon will heal not only you, but anybody else that is around you.
Right.
And so you are like, if you clear a dungeon and like, oh shit, you're low on health and you don't have enough bones to like heal yourself up all the way, because you can only use the healing thing once. Like you sit there by the bone thing. And then if like maybe your health is a little bit low, you might be like, oh, I'll fucking toss this guy a heal. Boom. because it's just like
Go up to the bones and then throw up a cry emoji, and somebody will
Right.
help you. I guarantee you.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I haven't played what's that, Deep Rock Galactic, but man,
love
I gotta
Deep Rock.
say,
It's good.
this game, as far as playing with random strangers, really healthy interactions.
Because
Like,
you don't got to talk to them.
you don't have to talk. No
That's why.
toxicity available.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Right.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, go play it now. But we are going to take a quick break, come back, and do our What Else You Got, and then head on out of here. Be right back.
Join the rebellion. Stand united. Face your foes and claim victory.
Okay, we're back. And it's time for our What Else You Got, the segment of our show we're allowed to bring to the table anything, be it video game or otherwise. This week, I would like to talk about a game that I've been playing on my Switch. That's Big Mode, Donkey's newest game, Star of Providence. So it came out like a month ago now. Big Mode game, and by came out a month ago, there's a little bit of confusion. This game actually came out in 2017.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
was
right. I forgot about that.
self-published under the title Monolith. Then in 2019, Donkey put it on his best of 2018 list. Then in 2023, Donkey does Big Mode, and he basically steps in to the project and has them change the name to Star of Providence, which is a cooler title, and then he also helps them basically get it on the Switch. So there's a huge update in February 2025, and then the Switch port that comes, and that's when I started playing it. So big shoes to fill over at Big Mode Games. When your first game is one of the best games of all time in Animal Well, it's like, okay, so what does Star of Providence have? And I got to tell you, we were just talking about a roguelike game that we really liked, and this is another roguelike game that I really like. Except this one is half roguelike and half twin stick shooter shmup. So I love this fucking game. It's you play. It has so much character and style. First of all, like you play as this little chibi, adorable ship. Like when you it looks like it has a face. Like when you press the pause menu, it's like the ship like getting attacked by fireballs and trying to drink coffee, and it looks like it's going like there's like a big Totoro style cat man that like lives in your like home base that you can like talk to. Like you can like you walk up to him and press A, and one of the options is like to gossip with him about like, and what he'll talk about is like enemies from the game and like what they do. And then you can ask him for advice, and he'll tell you how to overcome certain obstacles, or tell you like a little bit of something about like a little bit of secret in the game. So more on it being a twin stick shooter roguelike. Basically, you start a run of this roguelike, and you go to the first level, and it randomly generates a map for you that you do not have obviously access to actually seeing what, how the rooms are laid out. So you're just like in the room that you start in, and then you have options like randomly, up, left, down, and right. Let's say you can go all four directions in this particular map. You go to that room, and then a random assortment of enemies, over 200 different enemies in this game, by the way. There is like the most I have ever seen in any shmup ever in my entire life. A random assortment of enemies that belong on that level will spawn along with just like random level geometry. Like do not. Raf has been playing this game too, so yeah, Raf, I would love your opinion whenever you want. But this, have you found a repeat room? Like
no, and I've actually found stuff like that has shown up one time, and I've never seen it again. Like that have you fought the knight?
Yep.
Yeah, that guy. I was like, whoa, who the fuck are you? I fought him twice. Ended up beating him. I'm trying to remember now, but the cat one time like told me something that I never had said before. Like there was another option, and I don't remember what the hell it was now. But yeah, like
have you met the cowboy who pulls you into his video game?
What the fuck? No.
There's a video game. There's a video game inside of the video game that he pulls you into, and it's like a little series of mini challenges that just are all in a line.
Oh,
and if you get to the end of it, you get a fuckload of money.
Oh, there's the hacking game too. You didn't mention that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's another. So like, this is just a random side tangent, but like
Yeah.
in the rooms, some of the rooms have like a little what looks like an arcade cabinet kind of thing, and you play them. I guess you're hacking them. I think is what it really says. But
Right,
essentially,
yeah.
you play a fucking WarioWare mini game for prizes or maybe for a weapon or like for like the currency that you use in between runs. The way the weapons work, which is like another like a pretty big staple of the shmup, you know what I mean, like the weapons and upgrades and how they work.
Right,
Like
yeah.
basically there's like several different types of weapons, so it's like laser, shotgun, Vulcan, revolver, and then like one other, and then there's a bunch of adjectives that
Yeah.
get attached to those like basic forms.
And give them effects and stuff, yeah.
Precisely. So you could have like a fireball that has the adjectives like homing and void blast or something, which is like a thing where if you hit an enemy with it, it destroys any bullets that are around that enemy, which in a bullet hell is like thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like it does this Borderlands style way of like combining and creating random weapons that is just like very satisfying, that you're just like always looking for that next weapon like that's randomly assorted with all of the adjectives that you like, and it's, you know what I mean, has the base thing that you like, and it's like you're incentivized to keep trading them in, because if you trade in an old weapon for a new weapon you find, you get the currency that powers you up in between the
I didn't
levels.
realize that that's how that. Yeah, because I have gotten rid of some guns without wanting to, like kind of like, oh shit, well I should get this new one, but I don't want to get rid of this one. I didn't realize that you actually get something good for it. Yeah.
And then the way that basically you move from level to level is that every level has a certain number of mini bosses that you have to defeat before you can fight the big boss of that level. And so you will be walking around and you might find the boss door first, and it'll literally be like a big black and red door that'll have a number on it that's telling you how many mini bosses are on this floor, specifically how many are left. Say you've killed one before you got there or something like that. But yeah, you kill the mini bosses, then you return to that floor, shoot the door, and then you can fight the boss. Return to the floor is actually really or not floor, but returning to that room is actually really fucking easy, because this game has this awesome mechanic where you can open the map and then just like use the D-pad to like sort of jump from room to room, and you select the room that you want to go to. As long as you've already been in it, you hit A and you just fucking go there.
Yeah.
So it makes exploring the whole thing super duper easy.
No
like
backtracking for me. You're just gonna right there and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the game, it does its best to streamline itself, because shmups can be just so tedious with the memorize, and the game's just trying to be fun and as fast as possible as it can be for you, and inadvertently or not, it's just extremely charming. Like the enemies like are vary from like being like a horrible like flesh stricken skull with a VR mask on to like just like an adorable little ghost,
Yeah.
like with a hat on or something cute. Like I don't know.
I think I've said it before. It's the Binding of Isaac, but not gross. It's like
Right.
it's Binding of Isaac, but kind of cute and fun. You know, even the music is cute and fun in this game. It's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
The music is cute and fun. You know, I got to what I think might be the last boss
Really?
once, and I died. It was like a guy, like his name was like the Collector or something. It was after like the 5th or 6th level, and when I died to him, the cat's advice was there's only been like one other person that has come into this like dungeon, because by the way, the backstory is about like you're a ship that's exploring a dungeon that's filled with apparently like demonic machines
Yeah.
or something. But he said there's only been one other person that's entered the building, and that ship became that guy that you just fought. So I was like, oh shit.
Isn't there another playable ship in this game?
Apparently
too?
there's several playable ships that you can unlock, which I have not beat the game yet, so I don't know how to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm going to keep playing. It is very fucking addictive as far as roguelikes go. It checks all the boxes, except this one does it as a twin stick shooter / shmup. So it's just like, yeah, dude, and it's just as good as Enter the Gungeon, and it's just different because you're like a cute little ship. So let's fucking go. So yeah, dude, I would pick it up. It was also like $20 or something on Switch.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh fuck yeah, dude. It's really fucking good.
Very much
Big
worth
mode,
it. Yeah.
Star Providence. Go buy it. Check it out. Raf, what else have you got for us today?
Well, I've got a couple of things. I guess like a little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, in preparation for Buck and Benny's trip to Japan, we recorded a lot of stuff, just kind of like over the last couple of weeks. So we had a little bit of a break in between actual recordings, and so I picked up a couple of things. First one was a game that I actually have mentioned on here before. I've been looking for it for it feels like a year now, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I finally found my copy of Alien 3. I found this at my friendly local game shop, and I saw it there. I was like, holy shit, this is like, what was it, like 20 or 30 bucks or something like that. Definitely cheaper than I saw it online. So I immediately grabbed it. I haven't had a chance to play it again. This is one that I actually haven't played since I rented it from Blockbuster when I was a teenager, I think, or a kid.
Okay, that was going to be my question, is
young
what
kid.
was your exposure to this?
Like I said, I rented it. It's very hard. I remember this game being very difficult because it's weird. It's almost like it's got like a certain Metroidvania-ness to it, but it's
Certainly
not. You have like missions that you can do. Like you can go to a computer and select missions, and then you have to like kind of like explore and go to different parts of the map and accomplish those things. So I can't wait to dive into that. I'm very excited about it. I love the sprites in that game too. It look really good.
Yeah, the areas when you're dark look scary. Like I like what they do with the lighting effect.
Scary. Yeah, this game is actually kind of scary. And Alien 3, famously not the best Alien movie, but it is David Fincher, right? Guy who directed Fight Club. That's his first movie, actually.
Right.
Yeah, but it's actually, I like it a lot. But yeah, this game, very excited for it. The other thing I ended up getting, because I had picked up recently a Humble Bundle from, it was a Capcom Arcade Classics, like Humble Bundle thing, and got some fighting games on there. And then I also got the Capcom Arcade Classics collection on there. It came with it. I paid like $25 and got like 70 games like that, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I decided, I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to mess around with one of these, and I'm not very good with it, but I just kind of wanted to try it. And I ended up getting a fight stick.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. I got this. This is like a few weeks back. I got this. Like I said, we haven't recorded in a little while. It was a cheap one, but it feels pretty damn good. So I've been kind of messing around with it a little bit. I'm not good with a stick. I'm much better with a controller. Like I'm much better with a gamepad because I never really grew up playing a lot of fighting games in arcades. But I've been having fun with it. It's a fun little novelty, and it feels really good. It just feels very clicky and stuff. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's cool. But
I could never use the sticks either. I was always a controller person.
Same here. I'm much better with a controller. I'm trying to learn it. Just, you know, whatever. It's more like for the, because, you know, fighting
people
games
say it's better to do or whatever, you know?
You know, I don't think it is, honestly. In my opinion, I really do think the controller, especially the PlayStation controller, is the superior like fighting game controller. I mean, truth be told, the hitboxes that people do now, like I don't know how people do this, but like the leverless controllers, those are the best. But the travel time with the joystick is too much, in my opinion. Like dashing and backdashing is much more difficult on that than compared to like a controller. I just tap a button twice, or I boom boom with the joystick. Although like executing certain things is easier. Although I'm having a hard time doing dragon punches on that thing. Holy shit.
Right, exactly. That was always my hang up as well.
That's tough for me. I've been able to do it, just not consistently yet. But I'm gonna keep practicing.
You know what people do? They do forward and then down to forward.
Forward, and yes, I've seen online people have said like certain, like given certain tactics for it. Like there's also a looping motion some people do, which I didn't like either. Yeah, but I'm gonna try that forward down to forward thing and see if that works any better.
That's what I've seen the most often.
Yeah, man, I've been having a good time with it. It's really
it's fucking tight.
You know, it's just fun. You know, I'm not planning on really getting too good with that thing. I'm more of a controller player all the way, but it's also something I want to try to like. Maybe I'll stream some shit with it, you know, like I'll play a game and try to like mess around and see, let's see how well I do with this thing, or even the arcade classics collection, and just maybe stream that and play it as if I'm actually at an arcade. That's fun, you know.
That's a good idea.
Play Ghouls and Ghosts on an arcade, you know, arcade cabinet. That's fun.
Good. That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, that's my what else you got?
All right, well, hey, that is a fantastic one, and that does it for our show. Thank you so much, dear listener or watcher, you Brad and Bradettes out there. Do us a huge favor, like and subscribe, why don't you? And if you are just listening to this on your podcast app, don't forget that this is a video podcast. You can take it out of your pocket and give us a watch, or you can go over to our YouTube or Twitch channels at the Game Treasure Podcast to watch us stream on the weekends. I do Baldur's Gate with some funny people on Saturdays, and Raf does funny or scary or funny and scary games on Sundays. You can reach out to us via email with any questions, comments, or games you want us to play at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com. You can head on over to our link tree because now I set it up to where you can buy our merch from our link tree.
Oh, nice.
So head to our link tree at linktree/the GTP, where you can also find a link to our Patreon, which would be at patreon.com/the GTP. Subscribe there, and you will gain access to our bonus content, which as of right now consists of our UFO 50 deep dive series. We do have to do that fourth one. We're almost done with UFO 50.
Oh God, we're gonna have to find something else to talk about.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, extra long episodes on that. They're really fun. We've got some people that like those and commented on my Rock on Island gameplay.
Cool.
You can find links, like I said, linktree/the GTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere you can find music on the internet. And of course, we would like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, owned and operated by Japan's The Megabuck. Retro Game Treasure is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of collecting retro video games. No more hunting to a game store in your town that isn't absolutely god awful. Jesus, I went to one the other day on the east side of Orlando, and I was like, this is terrible.
I think I know which one you want to.
No more guessing and no more wasted. It was up by Alafaya. No more guessing and no more wasted time. Instead, RetroGameTreasure.com subscribers make their own personal profile, which tells Retro Game Treasure what game consoles they have/want to collect for, and what genres of video games they like to play. For example, shooters, survival horrors, fighting games, racing games, twin stick shooters, these sorts of things. You set all these preferences ahead of time, and then at the end of each month, your box comes and it is filled with games that are tailored to fit your collection. They are for the consoles that you have, and they are of the genres that you like. They are yours to keep, and they are all refurbished and all guaranteed to work, which to me is the hugest thing. I hate getting a game back from the game store to find out that the battery inside of my Game Boy has died in my fucking Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Want to start collecting a new console? Hey, no problem. Head on over to their console shop page, where whether you are a member or not, you can get great deals on new and refurbished consoles. Then you just head on over to your preference page, select that new console that you just purchased, and then boom. Now, all of a sudden, at the end of every month, those games are in the mix too for those consoles. It is simply the easiest, hassle-free way to grow your retro gaming collection, period. So begin growing your collection the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. That's enough for today. Until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.